경기장 도시형.
So nice here. One of the big things that I do like about this above the GSL is that we can go into the games when we want to. At the GSL, sometimes it was like, so what'd you have for lunch today, Wolf? And we just kind of like have to wait for the Korean broadcast to catch up. But anyway, we can start this game right now. And down at the bottom of the map in the blue, representing the team Empire, is Aristeo. And up at the top of the map, race-picking Terran because he refuses to play ZVZ. It is Mouz.MorroW.
Good on him. I don't want to watch it anyway, so ha, there.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of all the mirror matchups. I always have been.
You're insane, so
they're so interesting. They're really, I don't know. I'm fascinated by the mirror matchups. There's so much to watch in those.
All right, well, let's see here what both players are going to show us. The map is Daybreak, as we said before. A nice balanced map that leads itself to some fun macro TVZs as well. And we don't have Thorzane playing on this map, unfortunately, because whenever he moves on this map, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to see an absurd number of ghosts watching choke points around the Xel'Naga Tower. So
that's true, that's true. But, you know, what if Aristeo wins and they send in Thorzane and he picks Shakura's Plateau? We could see one of those types of games, but I don't know, man. MorroW's got some good TVZ, and the thing is that, yeah, he doesn't main race Terran, but, oh, he still has a lot of interesting builds, including hiding his first barracks. Now, will this be some sort of 2 barracks, or is he just kind of hiding the first one to kind of mess with his opponent? MorroW has been spending a lot of time practicing in Korea. Yeah, and there's the reactor. Okay, the refinery, rather. So this isn't going to be any sort of cheesy double proxy racks, but it will make Aristeo a little bit confused.
And the coolest thing about MorroW's TVZ play is that he was, of course, a former incredibly high-level Terran player, and so he knows the matchup from the other perspective, inside and out. Of course, playing Zerg as well, so he knows exactly what annoys him. He knows how to prevent those Ling run-bys, and it's really cool to watch his very methodical style of Terran.
Yeah, well, now Aristeo's going to see this, and he's going to be like, all right, you have gas, but I don't see any barracks, no command center, so he's like, all right, so I know you've got a barracks somewhere on the map, but how close is it to my base? You know, just how hardcore of a bunker rush am I going to see here? So Aristeo's going to need to prepare a little bit more than usual maybe for this, but he shouldn't be feeling too worried at this point because he did see that gas.
All right, well, the Overlord does see the barracks now, so and it's going to get out of vision pretty quickly.
And this is actually exactly why MorroW put his barracks there. He knows the Overlord scouting path, so now that he's got that second Marine out in just a moment, he can lift the barracks and take out that Overlord. Really smart little move that we see a lot of the Korean Terrans doing. And MorroW, of course, is going to be adopting that as he is playing a lot on the Korean server lately.
Absolutely, and that Overlord's going to go down here in just a bit. Nowhere Aristeo can move that, of course. It will die on all sides, so a nice little Overlord kill for him.
Oh, it's so sad. The Overlord going back and forth.
The barracks just nudging him towards the Marines.
Oh, all over the biodome.
Hopefully with less Polyshore.
So it is going to be a reactor to Hellions from MorroW. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Biodome, but I was a big fan of Encino Man, which Polyshore was also in, and quite funny in as well.
Yes, Biodome, though, is makes me want to repeatedly vomit. So
wow, that's a strong reaction, man.
It's a strong movie. Anyway, so we have an expansion coming up now for MorroW. See if he starts a reactor in a second, or if he's going to be content to sit on just the single factory for now.
You know, I wonder if he's going to go for Banshees. Nope, there's a reactor there. He still does have a lot of gas built up, so he could decide to throw down a starport here and follow this up with Banshees, which is another thing that's very popular in TVZ these days. You can tell MorroW really knows the matchup despite playing mostly Zerg. And yeah, these 4 Zerglings shouldn't be any problem at all for this Hellion.
Nope, it looks like 2 more Zerglings left, and they're going to fall here in just a second as well. They get a pretty good scout, but they're not going to see anything out of the ordinary. They get the time on the command center, get the time on the reactor coming up as well, but that's about all. Back on Aristeo's side of things, he has 1 spine crawler up the front. He's been continuing to mine gas pretty diligently for a while now, so but just sitting on 2 base for the time being. There's a Roach Warren, actually.
Yeah, he did decide to throw down the Roach Warren, so he is a little bit worried about Hellion pressure here. I mean, yeah, he could be gearing up to maybe do some sort of little early Roach push, but I've got a feeling this is going to be a little bit more defensive for him, so he is, as I said, a little bit worried about the Hellions. And let's see, no starport yet for MorroW. He's got a lot of gas and a lot of minerals built up here, especially a lot of gas. I'm curious to see. Okay, so it is going to be fast stim. All right, and we might see him add some Marauders then onto that as well.
All right, well, the Hellions try to poke their way up in the front, but of course they're not going to get anything done there. 6 Roaches coming up now for Aristeo. MorroW really doesn't have a lot on the field at the moment, just a handful of Marines. He does have Stim on the way now, but we'll see how he's going to handle the situation moving forward. A third barracks coming up now, so 3 racks with a factory, and may move into a starport after that pretty soon.
Yep, another reactor actually going down on that factory, too. And there's the starport. Okay, so, yeah, we are just going to see some bio and medevacs following this up for MorroW. Saving up that gas so he can produce some Marauders and maybe get that another upgrade or two. Oh, Link's coming in for Aristeo. They do pick off those few Marines there. And, yeah, MorroW, like you mentioned earlier, just caught with not a lot of units at his front here, and he might lose a couple SCVs.
All right, well, MorroW going ahead and gathering those all together, presenting a little bit smaller front so they could jump out and surround. And look at this. Actually, Aristeo is following this up with a ton of Lings and Roaches. He's just going to try and push right now, moving out with those initial 6 Roaches. He's not built anymore, but he does have a lot of Lings flooding in behind this. Yeah,
I think this is a great decision from Aristeo. He saw MorroW was kind of sitting around on Hellions and Marines for quite a while, and so he's decided to push. Those Hellions don't stand a chance. Uh-oh, MorroW is in some big trouble here. He does not have any bunkers prepared for this. He doesn't hardly have any units prepared for this. That was a terrible double negative, but you get the idea.
No, you're absolutely right, though, as this bunker's going to fall right away, not even getting canceled. Another supply depot coming up, but all the units have flooded on through, and there's not a wall inside of the main as well.
Wow.
Nice job pushing these units through a tiny little choke point to maximize the splash damage from the Hellions, but the Roaches are just too powerful.
Yeah, he's going to kill a ton of Lings. Really nice positioning by MorroW, and it looks like the Roaches are just going to be barely enough. He's probably going to be able to kill these eventually, but yeah, he's got 1 Marauder out, but he lost so many SCVs doing this.
Yeah, it looks like more SCVs are going to fall down as well, as Aristeo is going to pick off a couple more here. He's already killed 20 workers and picking off a couple more Marines before he finally dies.
Yep.
But 49 supply to 36 at the moment. Layer tech along with an additional 2 gas for now for Aristeo coming up.
Yeah, not a bad attack at all for Aristeo, doing a ton of damage with that. He's getting that +1 carapace as well and throwing down another spine crawler. Yeah, so he's going to play a little bit more heavily on 2 base. Not taking his 4th gas just yet, so I don't know if we're going to see a Spire from him or not. He's got... Okay, so there's a second Evo chamber. Yeah, so he might follow this up with Infestors then, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Still really dominant on the map. And he knows that MorroW's going to try to drop too, so yeah, Aristeo just totally in control of this game.
All right, well, he's just going to tear after these medevacs, pick those units off one at a time. However, MorroW does have a wall up at the front, so the continuing run-bys aren't going to kill him now. And MorroW dropping out all of his units, healing them up, waiting for the rest of these Zerglings to make their way around. Looks like Aristeo retreated all the way back home. He does have a 4th gas coming up now, and his layer tech just finished up, but no inclination quite yet of what that's going to be used for. Ooh, Infestation Pit.
Yeah, usually when you see the second Evo chamber, they don't go into Spire from there. Usually that's going to be Ling Infestor Ultra, and yeah, it looks like he's got enough Lings to handle this. Nice positioning by MorroW, but it's just not going to quite be enough. He's going to lose most of these units. Yeah, he only has a couple of Marines left over, so he's going to have to run. Oh, gets a nice Overlord, though. Nice little parting gift for MorroW there.
A bonus, if you will.
That's right.
Infestation Pit's finishing up here momentarily. We also have a 3rd command center on the way now for MorroW. So he took a lot of damage from that first Roach attack, but he's not down and out yet, doing a nice job macroing himself back into this game.
Yeah, MorroW's certainly still in it. Back up in supply, in fact, slightly ahead right now, just because Aristeo is teching quite a bit at the moment, not taking that 3rd quite yet. Yeah, just started it now. And again, MorroW with a good positioning, but just too many Lings overwhelming there. Oh, wow, another big group of Marines coming in. Big stim from MorroW.
Yeah, he's just going to try and push his way through now. This Queen taking a lot of damage. There is a Spine Crawler sitting in the middle. We're going to see if that's enough to hold against MorroW's forces. He moves out. The Zergling's starting to move in. They immediately surround a good portion of the units. But with these medevacs here, these Marines are pretty powerful. And looks like all the Zerglings are going to die. There's still some units left over for MorroW, maybe? No, actually, the last couple of Marines. Okay, he does pick them up and then drop onto the high ground.
Yeah, you can see what a big difference having a Queen in the back makes as far as DPSing down some of those units like that. And when Queen helps out a lot, that's usually why you see Korean players take a moment to focus fire that in those situations.
And we do finally have a 3rd base coming out of Aristeo, but of course the command center is already done for MorroW. We'll see where he plans to move that out into the pocket with a PF or over to the normal 3rd afterwards. Aristeo swinging around, not going to see any sort of a 3rd quite yet, of course. He did know that one was being constructed. In fact, he saw that it was even finished.
Yep, he also sees that force coming out on the map because of the Xel'Naga Tower as well.
And let's take a look as 5 Infestors are now hitting the field. So Aristeo is going to have a pretty meaty force in a bit. It's pretty expensive to get there, though, as he is pretty delayed on this 3rd now. He's got a couple of Spine Crawlers to aid in the defensive drops. And MorroW, on the other hand, just Marine, Tank, and Medevac for now.
Yeah, despite the supply being even, Aristeo has a pretty decent lead right now. I mean, MorroW can build up SCVs from that third command center before he moves out and takes his third, but Aristeo is going to delay the mining for quite a while there. Huh, alright. So, yep, Aristeo continuing to get upgrades, getting some more gas as well, probably going to see a hive before too long. And, oh, hitting right before the Spine Crawlers finish is MorroW.
Nice, doing a lot of damage. Only took one hit from the Spine Crawlers in total. Gets himself a nice position back here, but there's still too many forces, and he has to pick up and go home.
Yep, that's right. So MorroW not doing a lot of damage with those drops just yet. Oh, Aristeo moving out on the map with those Infestors, too. Okay, I feel like that's a bit of a risk from him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Burrow yet. He just started it now as well. So if those Infestors get trapped, he could be in some serious trouble here.
And MorroW's going to move his way down.
Trying to bait him out.
Pulling back to those Infestors. Nice. Drops down a couple of fungal growths. A lot of Marines are hit. We'll see how much actually dies here. Fungling those tanks a couple of times as well. Oh, God.
Oh, he needs to fungal again. Does he have the energy?
All right, well, let's see. He's actually got...
not
on any of those.
Yeah, well, some Marines dying there to those Zerglings that were already at very, very low health. Another little poke here from MorroW, trying to do some damage, but there's plenty of Lings there to handle it.
Yeah, looks like, or MorroW, he's pushing back, pushing himself into a corner.
Micro.
There's finally, he does trade pretty cost effectively, but the Zerglings are just too much for now. A lot of units trapped up in these medevacs, so MorroW doesn't have a lot of forces on the ground, but we'll see if he wants to move out in just a bit as he takes his third. Did decide to turn that into an orbital command, though.
Yep, that's right. Those Marines will get healed up as well. There's a hive on the way for Aristeo, so probably going to see that 3-3 Adrenal Glands and the Ultralisk Cavern from him as well. And he's delayed his opponent's third enough where I'd say he's still in a pretty good position here despite the supplies being fairly even. MorroW's been powering really, really hard on two bases. Oh, I don't know if this is the best decision for Aristeo. All right, throwing in some Infested Terrans to draw the Siege Tank fire. That actually worked very well.
Yeah,
Nicely
not too
done.
bad at all, and he finds a creative way to break this little line that was up at the front as well. Again, this is, as all of these Infested Terrans are eventually going to die, but that's going to allow some Zerglings to flood in from behind as well. They may be able to catch a couple of tanks off guard. That's a pretty good win for Aristeo.
Yeah, the biggest win there is going to be denying that third even longer. Oh, the SCV is still coming down. Oh, man, if he gets some fungals off, does he have any? He has one.
Yeah, and it looks like it's just going to become Infested Terrans, as a matter of fact.
All right.
This is a very MorroW thing to do, though, with these bunkers up here to prevent link run-bys. But look at that. The orbital command is stopped once again, and MorroW's going to counter-drop.
Yep, that's right. Aristeo, though, does have that spine there, and he does have some Lings pretty close by that he can return. So I don't think MorroW's going to do a ton of damage. He does kill the Queen, which is kind of nice. But yeah, the bigger story right now is just Aristeo totally dominating that third base area for MorroW. If he can hold that for like a couple more minutes here and stay safe himself, he's going to be in a great shape. Oh, but the third of Aristeo, another drop from MorroW.
Yeah, once Spine Crawler gets cleaned up, once again, MorroW backs himself up to this very nice protected area in the top left-hand corner. Looks like he wants to stand in there and fight for now. The Infestor's not coming to help, just looking at their brethren as they get slaughtered. There they go, finally.
Yep, that's right. And looks like he might even get those medevacs as well. Oh, not paying attention. Losing a bunch of Infestors. Oh, what a disaster for Aristeo.
Yeah.
Looks like he can keep some alive. All right, Burrow does help, but yeah, there is a scan, and he will lose all of those Infestors.
He finally did fungal a couple of units at the very least, but certainly not going to be enough for him. This Infestor trying to jump off the cliff, apparently.
It's like, I don't want to live anymore.
Oh, but apparently it does. All right,
yes.
So that's kind of entertaining. Another Infestor making its way over for Aristeo as well, so maybe we'll see some burrowed Infestor shenanigans. He's trying to go up to his fourth base, but at the exact same time, MorroW's building his as well. Yeah, man, when you have those Infestors out on the map like that, you need to be so careful not to lose them. That was a big investment that Aristeo just saw get taken out by those Marines. He's still in a pretty good spot. He's a little bit down on supply. How many drones does he have right now? I feel like he's a little bit low on drones. Okay, yeah, 61, so that's not too bad. A little bit lower than you'd want to be at this point, I have a feeling. But, you know, it could be worse. But still, losing those Infestors hurts quite a bit. MorroW is in a great position now. Nothing's going to break that third for a while. And he could even decide to take a fourth pretty soon after this as well. In fact, he's got the command center either finished or close to finished. Yeah, very close.
Very close, yep.
All right, more burrowed Infestors making their way over. We may see some chain fungals on some SCVs in a bit. Oh, but MorroW moving his units back into position. And we'll see if it's going to be quick enough to intercept these Infestors. At the same time, we have some units moving through the middle. Aristeo putting up four. He's actually putting up 4 Ultras right now with Chitinous Plating and 3-3 for those melee units.
Uh-oh. Another drop from MorroW, but I keep waiting for the fungal to happen at that third base.
I know.
MorroW is waiting for the Infestors to get the energy, it looks like.
Oh, they're just out of range of the tanks, too.
Yep, fourth of Aristeo. Still some Marines doing some damage, but that will eventually get cleaned up.
All right, but we keep hopping back to this. Oh, he's selecting them! He's selecting them! We're just waiting for the moment when he pops up and does some damage.
I think he's just waiting to have a couple fungals here.
Yeah, let's see here. He's got quite a bit of energy.
He's got the energy. What is he waiting for here? The mules just got dropped. This would be a perfect time for it.
I don't know. We'll find out. So we'll go back to that in a bit. MorroW moving through the middle of the map, though he's going to take another base. Hasn't turned it into an orbital command, so we'll probably PF that to secure the middle of the map.
Yep, and MorroW's still trying to do some damage with drops. He is slightly behind on supply now. Oh man.
Now you have to, Aristeo. Oh, well, no. Okay, never mind. Those weren't transferring over. They were just returning
did he
their
just
long
forget
distance
about
cargo.
them, possibly? All right, Ling, run by here. This isn't going to do any damage at all.
No, that's going to get cleaned up pretty
quickly.
quickly.
Wow. They actually managed to sneak into the main, so we'll get a look at MorroW's base at any rate. Yep.
Let's see if he can pull some units back as well. He's going to get himself a few SCV. All the SCVs trying to aid in the construction of the Ghost Academy.
Oh, there we go.
I knew we were going to miss it.
It was inevitable, but he did kill a ton of SCVs there. Nice job by Aristeo. Wow, he's killed 50 workers this game already.
Yeah.
MorroW very, very resilient this game to take so many losses and still be in a pretty good situation here. But now that Aristeo's got that fourth up and he's been able to keep it for a while, and he's going to take a fifth soon, I'm sure. Oh man, just pot-shotting those Infestors.
No kidding.
Yeah, okay, here come the Ultras now. And does MorroW have enough to defend this? The tank spread is pretty good.
Yes, it is, but that's a lot of units flooding in from behind, and the Infestors haven't even thrown in their Infested Terrans quite yet. Oh, actually, not getting a lot of energy off. They actually just died in mass there. It may still be enough for Aristeo, though. He's going to try and go through the Planetary Fortress, expending one fungal growth on these SCVs, and the Planetary Fortress does go down.
Yeah, that's right. Tried to hold position on those SCVs to reduce the surface area for the Ultralisks to attack on, but didn't quite work as well because they weren't repairing that. And yeah, Aristeo still doing a good job of controlling these drops. Marines melting.
Yeah.
It's got to be a painful way to go, man, getting fungused to death.
No kidding.
It's not like the fun fungus like in the Mario Brothers movie or anything like that. It's just like bad fungus, man.
Oh my god, the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, dude.
Don't remind me. John Leguizamo is Luigi? No, thank you. Anyway, so Ultralisks rolling in, and siege tanks are going down, but now these Ultralisks are a little bit clumped up. We'll see if this bio on the high ground is enough to start focusing these down. MorroW's trading pretty cost-effectively, but now he's down by 100 supply. So, I mean, he's got to, he can't just trade cost-effectively. He has to obliterate an army in a couple of bases.
Yeah, it looks like Aristeo's going to take this game, and he really looked like he was ahead pretty much the whole way through. MorroW not really phasing him too much. Yeah, finishing off some of the last units. GG, there it is. And Empire.Aristeo taking down one of Mouz's better players, I would say, in game one here, giving them a quick 1-0 lead.